I lost 3 months of my life because of a Python lie. Not a bug, not a hard problem, a lie. And the worst part? I believed all 7 of them. These aren't fringe ideas from obscure corners of the internet. They're in tutorials, in forums, in YouTube comments with hundreds of upvotes. And they're wrong in ways that are going to cost you, if they haven't already. Here's how this works. I'm going to go through all 7, fast for the ones that are easy to kill, slower for the ones that actually destroyed real time. Stay through lie 4. That's the one most people never recover from. And if by the end of this video you realize you've been operating under one of these, I'll tell you exactly how to fix it. Let's start with the lie that's the most polite. Python is a great beginner language. True. Once you get serious, you'll outgrow it. That second part is the lie. Spotify, 600 million listeners, core infrastructure, Python. Instagram, 2 billion monthly users, backend, Python. Dropbox, the app in your system tray right now, silently syncing files across 700 million devices, Python. Easy to learn and only for learning are not the same thing. Python is easy to start. It is not easy to exhaust. The people saying you'll outgrow it have never grown into it. This one I have to be careful with because it's half true. Python is slower than C++, than Rust, than Go. In raw benchmarks, it loses. That's not a lie. Here's the lie, that the speed difference matters for the software most people are actually building. Think about what actually slows down a real application. A database query waiting for a disk read, an API call crossing a network, a user clicking a button. These take milliseconds, sometimes hundreds of milliseconds. Python's overhead on those operations? Microseconds. Instagram doesn't load slowly because of Python. Netflix doesn't stutter because of Python. There are real cases where Python speed is a genuine problem. High-frequency trading, real-time signal processing. If you're in those domains, you already know. You don't need this video. For everything else, web apps, automation, data pipelines, desktop tools, the bottleneck is almost never Python. Don't let a benchmark stop you from shipping. Before we get there, there's a lie that's even more seductive than the slow one, because this one doesn't feel like laziness. It feels like discipline. This is the tutorial hell lie, and it's the most seductive one on this list because it sounds responsible. It sounds like discipline. It sounds like the right way to do things. Study data structures, study algorithms, study big O notation, study graph traversal, do 100 LeetCode code problems, then, when you're ready, build something. I'll tell you when you're ready. Never. You will never feel ready. That's not a mindset problem. That's just how building things works. Readiness is a moving target that stays exactly one skill set ahead of wherever you are. I knew someone who solved 300 LeetCode code problems. Trees, graphs, dynamic programming, the hard ones. But when he tried to build a simple web app, a basic to-do list, nothing complex, he froze. Not the database structure, not the API, not the front end. He didn't know where to start. Because solving isolated puzzles and building software that has moving parts, state, users, failures, those are 2 completely different skills. One you develop on a whiteboard. The other only comes from building something real. He ended up building a tool he actually needed, broke it, fixed it, shipped it to 3 people. That was the shift. Not another problem set, an actual thing. Start broken. That's not a failure state. That's the process. Quiet. Different. This is the one. This is the one that cost me 3 months. I'm not going to summarize it. I'm going to tell you exactly how it happened because the mechanism is the same for most people. I built a tool in Python, something I actually wanted to use every day. And I wanted it to have a real interface, buttons, windows, something I could hand to a person who'd never opened a terminal and say, here, just use this. So I opened Python's built-in option. This is Tkinter. It ships with Python. It's been there since 1994. And it looks exactly like something that's been there since 1994. I stared at that gray window. I opened the app I was trying to build. I looked back at Tkinter, and I reached the only conclusion that seemed logical. Python can't do this. I went to a forum. Someone confirmed it. Use Electron, use C#. Python's not built for apps with real interfaces. 20 upvotes. Seemed credible. Seemed final. So I deleted 3 weeks of Python work, switched to a language I didn't enjoy, rebuilt everything from scratch. 2 months gone. Here's what nobody told me. Tkinter is not Python. It's one tool inside Python, the oldest one, the one nobody modernized because the ecosystem had already moved somewhere better. Judging Python by Tkinter is like landing at an airport, seeing the terminal, and leaving because you think that's all there is to the city. Let me show you what was actually there. Anki, 100 million users, medical students, law students, language learners worldwide. One developer who couldn't find the tool he needed, so he built it. Full professional interface, built with Python. Calibra, the most downloaded ebook manager on Earth, tens of millions of downloads, built with Python. Spider, the scientific Python IDE used by millions of data scientists and researchers, a full development environment, code editor, variable explorer, integrated console, plots panel, built entirely in Python. I deleted my project because I saw a gray window and spent 2 months in a language I didn't want to be in because I didn't know these 3 apps existed. If you abandoned a Python project because someone confirmed what you already feared, that Python couldn't do that, the project wasn't the problem. The information was. You didn't waste time on Python. You wasted time on the wrong tool inside it. I've made a full video about exactly this. The lie, the evidence, and the 2 frameworks that make Python apps look nothing like that gray window. If Lie 4 just hit you the way it hit me, that's where the story continues. It's on screen now.
You've seen this question everywhere. Is Python dying? Will AI make developers obsolete? Here's what's actually happening. AI coding tools don't replace languages, they write in them. GitHub Copilot writes Python. Claude writes Python. ChatGPT writes Python. Every major AI library, TensorFlow, PyTorch, LangChain, Hugging Face, is Python first. Not Python compatible, Python first. The tools that were supposed to kill it are the tools that run on it. If AI replaces programmers, Python is the language it will replace them with.
I met someone once who was good at Python. Not learning, good. Salaried, shipping, passing interviews. Then he read on a forum that without Go or Rust, he was going nowhere. So he spent 4 months learning Go. He didn't finish a single project in it. When he went back to interviews, Python interviews, those 4 months weren't in his portfolio. They weren't a talking point. They were just time. Here's what the job market actually says. The majority of Python listings, backend, data engineering, automation, machine learning, APIs, don't require a second language. They require Python done well. When you chase a second language too early, you don't become more hireable, you become mediocre at 2 things instead of strong at 1. Interviews test depth. Portfolios show depth. Get good at Python. Build real things. Then, if a specific role requires something else, add it, not before. Nobody tells you this one out loud. You absorb it. Your script runs. Your function returns the right value. You pass the exercise. And somewhere you start to believe you're done. Working code and good code are not the same thing. Knowing syntax is not the same as knowing how to build software. The gap between my script executes and I built something another person can use, extend, and maintain, that's where most beginners stay stuck for years without understanding why they're stuck. They're not stuck because they're not smart. They're stuck because nobody told them that working code was the floor, not the ceiling. The way out is building things that have real stakes, not exercises, not tutorials you follow line by line. Things with a user, even if that user is just you, using it every day, breaking it, fixing it, making it better. A script nobody sees teaches you syntax. An app someone actually installs teaches you everything else. 7 lies. All of them believable. All of them repeated by people who meant well. But the most expensive one, the one that doesn't just slow you down but sends you somewhere else entirely, is number 4. Because it doesn't feel like misinformation, it feels like evidence. You see that gray window, you believe what you see. If you abandoned Python desktop ops because of Tkinter, that story doesn't have to end there. One more thing. Every lie on this list has one thing in common. Someone repeated it without checking.